Hey girls, it's Bonet again, and in today's video we're going to be talking about detangling that natural hair of yours. I know sometimes it can seem really hard and impossible, but it's really not that bad, so I'm just going to share a few simple and easy tips that can really help your detangling process be a lot better and a lot less painful and with a lot less shedding and loss of hair. So stay tuned. Okay, so now it's time for us to detangle our hair. Now, that can seem like the scariest thing to someone who is maybe considering going natural, who is transitioning, and they haven't really felt their real hair texture in a long time. You might be thinking of memories of when you were little and you were so tender-headed, and whenever your mom combed your hair, you cried. That was me. And I've grown to realize that when you're doing your own hair, you have a lot more control. It can be a lot less painful, I promise. And so now we're going to jump right into detangling that natural hair of yours. Number one, if you can't tell already, your hair needs to be soaking wet. You only want to comb through your hair, like comb through it when your hair is wet, guys, because your hair needs to be moist. Our hair, women with curly hair, especially if you're a woman of color with kinky curly hair, you need to have your hair wet and moist, because if your hair is dry and brittle, it's a lot more liable to break. And as women with curly hair, our hair isn't naturally as oily and moist. It tends to be more dry, so we have to keep it moist and strong. So make sure that your hair is soaking wet. Preferably, I like to detangle my hair while I'm in the shower washing my hair, and I detangle it right there because the water is constantly running on my hair. So I like to do that. Now, number two, I recommend this 100%. I can't do it without doing this. Put your hair into sections. So what you're going to need to do this, you can section it off in a lot of different ways. You can just, take some sections and just braid them, twist them. You can use a scrunchie or a hair tie. Or for me today, I'm just going to use these clips, these clampy clips. You can get them from like Sally's or any beauty supply store, I'm pretty sure. So that's what I'm going to do now. Sectioning off your hair is going to make the task of detangling your natural hair a lot less scary and a lot less stressful, because you can work in sections and in steps and not having to look at this big mound of hair at one time. So what I'm gonna do, first I put it down like the middle, about, and then I'm gonna get 4 sections. So split those halves into another half, like that. And I'm just gonna kind of like twist it on itself, and then put it up, and just clip it. Oh, I missed a strand. It's okay. Then I'll take the other pieces and do the same thing. Okay, so now you have your sections all set off. Now, also having your hair in sections, this guarantees that you're going to get to every part of your hair. You're not just going to be randomly combing and, brushing, and then some pieces aren't really done. So sectioning is definitely a necessary part of detangling natural hair. So now, the third tip is to moisturize your hair. Now, if you just washed your hair, as your hair should be wet, you probably shampooed it and conditioned it. Now, I like to use sulfate-free shampoos and conditioners, and I tend to condition more and do co-washes. Right now, what I'm using is the Chi Curl Preserve System. It's a low pH treatment and it has no parabens. So there you go. And I got this from Marshall's for $7.99, and it lasted a really long time. And I'm thinking of trying out some more, even more natural products and some homemade products. But for now, that's what I'm using. The not having the parabens in it, and like this other one I use, the L'Oreal Everpure sulfate-free one. Now it says color care system, but my hair's not colored. I just got it. I don't know why. I guess because it had the rosemary, and I like rosemary, and I like purple. But I got this one because this one is sulfate free too. Sulfates and parabens are known to be like harsh chemicals for hair, and they can tend to dry out your hair, if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, definitely, because I feel the difference when I use these. My hair's a lot more moist. So you want to make sure that your hair was well conditioned. Now, you can definitely detangle while it's like before or while the conditioner is in, and then put it up in the cap or whatever. But for the sake of the video, I'm doing it after I've conditioned my hair. So I might have conditioned my hair or co-washed my hair, And what I do is after it was sitting in for maybe a couple of minutes, I rinse it out with cool water so that all of it isn't out, that there's still some moisture from the conditioner in there to keep my hair elastic and to have like that slip so it's easy to comb through. So keeping your hair moisturized and conditioned is very important. Now, after you rinse that out, of course you can use like your favorite leave-in conditioner, or you can put in some of your favorite oils, such as castor oil, jojoba oil, some shea butter. So you can get all of that at well, not all of it, pretty much most of it at a local beauty supply store. I know I ordered some on Amazon. So what I'm gonna do is right now I'm gonna start taking out a section. So I'll start with the front one so you can see it better. And what I'm going to do is to take the product that I'm going to use to continue to keep my hair moist after it's detangled. So I have like a shea butter mixture here that I mentioned in some of my other videos. It's just shea butter, jojoba oil, and castor oil. And I want to try out some new recipes soon. And I'm just going to start putting that in my hair and finger combing it, meaning with my fingers. Now, your hair might be starting to get dry already, so keep a water bottle nearby and keep it wet. It's a lot easier to detangle and work with. Now, if your hair is I have thick hair and a lot of hair, but the strands themselves, it's not that thick each, so it's a little easier for me to do it in 4 big sections. If you have thicker, coarser hair, you might want to break it off into even smaller sections, like this. And you want to just kind of finger through that if it's kind of dry still. So I'm just going to wet it somewhere. So you can kind of just, probably should have wet it first. But yeah, do that, and you can add some of the moisturizer you're using to it. And now comes the last tip. You want to use a wide tooth comb or a Denman kind of brush like this with these little bristles. First, you want to start off with the wide tooth comb. It's going to make it a lot easier to get through, and you want to start at your ends. Using a wide tooth comb, starting at your ends, all of this is going to guarantee a lot less breakage of your hair, and it will keep your hair strong. You're not going to lose as much hair by pulling it out unnecessarily. So you just start at the end. As you can see, my hair is still wet, and then work your way up. And to prevent the pain, hold so that you're not pulling on your roots. This makes it a lot easier to style after you detangle. So if you're going into a twist out or a braid out or any other style, or putting your hair up in a bun, it's a lot easier because your hair is detangled. So now that you've gone through with your wide tooth comb, oh, I have a stripe on me, nice. You can use the smaller tooth comb, which is like a Denman brush like this. I love this one. I got it from a local beauty supply store. The handle's like made of wood, and it fits your hand. Like you just hold it like that. It's comfortable. And you just go through again, and this will just guarantee that you're getting through even more of your hair. And these brushes tend to define your curls even more. So if you're afraid that like your hair's gonna frizz up because you're brushing through it, these kind of brushes are really good for making sure that your curls stay defined and intact. See, it will start to just like this. Looks like it's straight, but it just like springs right back up. So my hair is detangled. I'm running my hands through it. And what you can do is put this back up and section that off again, or you can braid it. Braiding it or twisting it will keep the curl stretched out, especially after using the comb and the brush. It might want to spring up even more and give you some shrinkage. So I tend to just braid it like this. And I'm going to repeat the whole process with the rest of my hair. So I might just film that and speed it up so you can see me doing my whole head and then see what it looks like when it's all out and detangled. But those are my 4 tips for you guys, and I hope it helps. So the next time you think about going natural or about having that time to detangle your hair. I hope these tips have helped you. And if you have any extra ones that I might have forgotten, put them down below because it might help me out too. So God bless, guys, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye.